What is going on, guys? Rodney here with Crypto Bros. Welcome to today's video. Today we're talking about an interesting ICO, something that I've never seen before. Hold on for 15 or 20 seconds before you close the video or give me a thumbs down and just hear me out. And I think you may agree with me on this. So today we're talking about Playchip. Now, Playchip is going to be the centralized token for a bunch of different gambling and fantasy sports mobile gaming platforms that are already in place. The company is called Playup Limited. They have a 500,000 user base already. They have all the infrastructure in place. They have 6 different gambling platforms and are generating or have generated $430 million in just 2018 alone. So this ICO is not about like building a platform, building apps, building any type of infrastructure. This company already has all those things in place. It is Australian based, and there's quite a bit of hype behind it, specifically for the fact that the Australian Prime Minister has also invested kind of in Playup Limited and this kind of overarching goal here. He wants to see it succeed. So again, they're offering this token to be spread across all their different applications as a common currency, just to solve some of the problems that blockchain can solve. So anyway, I hope I made that clear. We'll jump into all that in just a second. I have 2 quick things to say. One, thank you to everyone who has been subscribing to the channel. Ever so appreciative to that. And then 2, because this is an ICO review, I'm going to be giving away $50 in Ethereum. All you have to do to enter is leave your Ethereum address in a comment section below. Make sure you like the video and make sure you are subscribed to the channel. I'm going to let this run for a few days so we can get a good amount of people in on this to check this out. And then we will pick a winner sometime next week. I am traveling for work, so I'm not exactly sure when it'll be, but you can enter in there. Good luck to all you guys. Let's talk about this project. So anyway, the first thing we'll see here is, again, 500,000 users, 6 different betting, gambling platforms spread across 70 countries, $430 million in turnover. Again, guys, I just want to stress the fact that they are, it's weird because it is technically an ICO, but what they're doing is they're giving people a chance to just buy their token that already operate across this platform. You know, we see a lot of people love sports betting as it is. I mean, this is a $300 trillion industry, especially kind of in this mobile sector. So again, just to touch on, where they're coming from, this is not some new thing. Playup Limited was established in 2014. They are Australian based. In 2015, they got all the licenses and stuff they needed to become a fully licensed sports betting provider. 2016, they broke up and made it into 70 different countries. In 2017, though, they kind of came across this blockchain solution, some of the problems that it can solve in terms of cost, for like payouts for people winning, in terms of speed, in terms of some of the regulation aspects that some of these different countries have in terms of payouts. Like, some countries weren't able to kind of or allow, based on regulation, to receive their payouts if they won or they did something on the platform. And here we are in 2018. They are kind of putting their tokens up for sale. It's weird though, because like I said, all the infrastructure is already in place. People are just going to be able to go on there, buy their token, and implement it across the platform. And they're enabling you to buy in with USD, the Australian currency, Bitcoin, and Ethereum to kind of get your play chips and incorporate them into their current ecosystem. Now, this part right here is super important to understand because these are all their different betting platforms. We'll actually look at this again when we go into their pitch deck. So again, they've acquired DraftStars. And then also Betting Club. Is one of theirs. MadBookie.com, Top Beta, Classic Bet, and then obviously PlayUp, which is also an application. Here's their website over here. This is free daily fantasy sports, win real money on there, kind of like a contest thing. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with some of the things on like ESPN or something like that, where you can do it for free and still win money. So they have that already in place. And again, guys, very large user base. As we get into this, though, it gets very interesting when we see kind of who signed on, not only with the team, but some of their ambassadors. This guy right here is kind of who does this video. Highly recommend watching this just to kind of tie everything together. But this is Brett Lee, global sports icon. One thing that they will be implementing with their platform is its own kind of internal exchange as well as a wallet. So everything is here in mobile on there. So not only are you placing your bets, you can actually or operate on there with your wallets, with your private keys, all in this same platform. So it says buy and sell instantly with the Play wallet via Play Exchange, instant KYC verification between the platforms, low-cost transactions for bigger prize pools and better odds, real-time balance and withdrawal information, including fiat value, and you also retain full ownership of your private keys. So again, guys, it's this full encompassing ecosystem of a betting platform, wallets, exchanges, and etc. Once the actual token launches, you'll be able to find it on LAtoken and Hitbtc. We'll talk about that in just a second. But what I do want to flip over and check out, though, is actually their team here. There's some pretty impressive guys in the space. Sorry, I went to my good old highlighted version. But what you'll see, a lot of these guys are not only involved in blockchain, not only involved in some type of sports betting, gambling applications. They've also held high positions on boards. Like this guy right here, board member of Top Beta, Social Figure, New Era Group, Next Group, Honeywell. This guy right here is into the gaming, auction, social monitoring, blockchain, biotech. And we just kind of see this reoccurring thing. Tech founder and sales marketing executive whose previous startup, MConnect, generated over $650 million on mobile billings, all kinds of stuff. One advisor that I do want to point out is Steph Savannah. And it says, perhaps one of the world's most experienced operators in emerging field of blockchain. Dr. Steph has over 57 UK patent applications during his brief 18-month tenure with nChain. Steph's background includes working in numerous fields, including software development, health, and finance. So a lot of stuff. This guy right here, big player in terms of fantasy sports. This is Jesse, one of the biggest players in fantasy sports history. Jesse is the founder and former CEO of Major League Fantasy, one of the biggest fantasy platforms in the USA. Jesse continues to be involved with that space as well as esports platforms. Playup hopes to expand that as well. So we can just kind of see here a bunch of good people in the space, and then also their ambassadors, cricket legend, AFL legend, rugby legend. All these guys kind of tie in, very iconic people kind of in this space. As we get over to their pitch deck, though, this is where I think things get really interesting. The two things that I really wanted to, well, there's more than two. The couple things that I really wanted to touch on here is, again, that Playup Global has these 6 betting platforms already that are operating. So this token is going to be universal across all these platforms and tied together. So not only is there a utility base to the token, it will also be on different exchanges. Let's see if I can find that real quick. Not here. Must be down below. So anyway, but what you'll see, this has everything is all tied in, licensed for Premier League, NFL, NBA, NHA, MLB, etc. I'm sure you guys are already aware of that. But again, I think this part is just the super important part, just because it will be operating across so many different platforms, not only as utility, but you'll also be able to trade it on exchanges. This part just gets into the wallet, which we've already covered. And currently, here's some statistics on their application. So general users, average time per session, 11 minutes. Again, 500,000 total users, projected 2 million by the end of 2018. Here's where they, in terms of their trajectory of a company of users, here's where they have acquired Draft Stars. Here's another one where they've acquired it. So their user base continues to grow. And what they're going to be doing, and maybe this is the most interesting part about, here's we go, Hitbtc, LAtoken. The most interesting part about this actual ICO in general is they are using the majority of their funds for marketing. And that means they're going to be entering in partnerships with specific teams. They've actually already done that, and with one rugby team, we're going to check it out. It's actually Russell Crowe's rugby team. Super, super cool. We'll check that out in just a second. But they're using the majority of the money raised in the ICO for all their marketing stuff. As we've seen, this platform is already built. They're working on growing the brand, and most people who know anything about marketing and advertisement, like that's how people get the hype behind the project. That's how they get influencers. That's how they get people working within their platform, is by marketing. So they're going to be doing it at different sporting events, by sponsoring teams, by pushing out different like social media advertisements, digital ad, all this different stuff to kind of grow this brand and this token across all these different gambling platforms. And I think that's really cool because they're not spending the next 2 or 3 years trying to build up a platform. They already have a user base. Now they're focused on retaining those people, giving them a good experience, and then growing their footprint within there. So anyway, very cool piece here. We can go through their roadmap. They've done a lot of interesting things, including the release of their Play Wallet in November, Playup Bet launch in October, their Play Exchange and launch is in September, so they have a bunch of things going. I believe it's August 23rd is when they're going to hit Hitbtc and LAtoken, so if you guys wanted to pick some up, if you can't get in on the ICO because you're US based or whatever, that is very possible. And then, here's just a couple other things. They're talking about their management team and their advisors, but it says, since this is an actual company, they have 38 full-time talented developed and operational staff located in Sydney, Melbourne, New York, London, and Hong Kong. So again, full operating company, and they worked with companies that we may recognize: SAP, Under Armour, DraftStars, Top Beta, etc. So again, guys, they've got stuff going for them, and I just like the fact that they are not they're not building something. They already have it in place. They're just implementing the token piece. And as we see here through a couple articles that have come out, these are all Australian-based articles, but it says Playup bets on cryptocurrency future plus ASX and NASDAQ listing. If you don't know what ASX is, it is the Australian Securities Exchange, some type of stock exchange that they have over there. So they're going to be working on listing their company on that and NASDAQ. And then as we get into this article, this is where it talks about kind of their how they're working with the Prime Minister and their son on this and the investment that he made. So it says Malcolm Trumbull, who is the Prime Minister, I actually said that wrong. It's Trumbull, has previously invested $1 million in Playup shares along with other high-profile investors, including Rich Listers, David Paradise, Alan Myers. I don't want to butcher anyone's name, so I'm not going to read any more of that. But these guys have already invested big money into this platform as it is, and it continues to grow. So in terms of like a company standpoint, like they have the backing and all the pieces in place to do really well. Here's another article also talking about kind of the resurrection and how they're doing it, some of the things they're implementing, some of the stuff that they have going on with fantasy sports in general. And then here's their last one. Here's kind of one of the teams that they're sponsoring. You can obviously see their logo here, but it says Playup joins Rabbitohs in the NRL first. So this is the actual rugby league team. So if we actually Google it, who owns this? None other than Russell Crowe. And I hope I'm saying that right. I'm obviously not a big sports guy, so if I'm pronouncing your favorite team wrong, I do apologize. But there's just a lot of pieces in place for this to do very well. And what we've seen in terms of any type of gambling platform, whether it's blockchain based or not, always does very well, especially kind of in this mobile gambling platform. Very, very cool stuff. So anyway, guys, I was going to talk about this ESPN article here that they've listed. We'll just quickly do it, and then we'll wrap this video up. But it says the court ruled 6-3. Basically, they're just saying that for United States-based people, that it was once a federal law that prohibited gambling. Now they're bringing it down where states will have the final say in how the gambling situation works in each and single state. But anyway, last but not least, here's just a list of some of the current gaming casino platforms on there. And we can look at some of these market caps, and all of them, all the top ones here within that, top 200 coins are all right around $50 million market caps, all the way up to 128. So you can kind of make some type of speculation after this token debuts and after there is some further adoption here. They're offering it right now for, I think, a penny plus a bonus. So, if we hit a couple of these 5, 6, 10 cent marks for the actual value of the token, there's actually some ROI here, some profits to be made. So anyway, guys, that is all I have for you today. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do it. I'd love to have you in there, but I'm ever so thankful for all of you guys. That's my opinion on Playup Chip. Again, I'm not very well endowed in this whole online space, but I just love the fact that they already have this in place and they're using blockchain to kind of further their development here, with just solving problems with the speed, efficiency, payouts, all that type of stuff. So anyway, guys, that is all I have for you today. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. I will be back again with another cryptocurrency video tomorrow. See ya.